Hey everyone, welcome to the experience. My name is Devin Williams and this is Kieran Collins. And we're joined here with LJ Owens, former star Severn basketball player and current UMBC guard. LJ, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man.
So just starting it off, kind of an easy question. What was the transition to college basketball like for you compared to high school basketball? What was that transition like?
The transition, initially it was kind of hard. It was just from high school to college, like the game speeds up a lot, and everybody's kind of like bigger, faster, and stronger. That's kind of like what I tell everybody, like the biggest transition is. But uh, I mean, after like the summertime, after summer workouts and stuff, I got adjusted to it. But yeah, that's kind of like the biggest transition.
Was there anything you thought you overestimated, like that would be harder than it actually was?
Um, yeah, probably like the practicing and stuff. I thought they would be like crazy. Don't get me wrong, like sometimes like conditioning, oh, it get hard, but it's not nothing that you like can't get through. So yeah.
Mhm. And then also, you hear a lot in basketball, particularly about like welcome to the NBA or like welcome to this level of basketball kind of stories. Do you have anything like that?
Like a welcome to college kind of
Yeah.
moment. Uh yeah, probably like my first game. My first game I played in college. Like I made like my first 5 shots in a row. Had like 14 points in the first half, and it was kind of like I'm here, kind of. That was a cool one. We got the win too, so that was cool.
Nice. Who was that against?
That was against High Point. High
High
Point.
Point.
That was when I was at William and Mary.
So yeah, talking about games. What was it like in your very first college basketball game?
Yeah, it was like a moment like I waited like your whole life for, just thinking about it. So just getting out there, like leading up to the game, like warm-ups and stuff, you kind of like looking around, seeing like people walk in and like thousands of people and all of that. But when the game started, it was like run up and down a couple times, get a rebound, this and that. And it's kind of like, all right, it's just basketball. Like I've been doing this forever, so you kind of get accustomed to it. But not, it was definitely a cool experience though.
I bet the crowd is bigger than Severn's.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And then kind of building off that, obviously including both your time at William and Mary and UMBC, what like environment do you think was the most hostile to go into? What gym do you remember being like especially just like loud and hard to
Like any school, like any
yeah.
game. Um, Probably I played at UVA, University of Virginia. When I was at William Mary, that one was pretty crazy. I'm trying to think of another one, but that was probably the craziest one. Yeah, and that was the team that they won the championship that year too. So I believe they did. So yeah, that one was pretty crazy.
How'd y'all do against them?
Not good. They killed us. We lost by like 30.
Damn.
They had like Kyle Guy. That was that team.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was while you were at William and Mary, though.
That was my freshman year. Yeah. But we also played. I played at like Notre Dame. I played at some pretty cool environments.
Where
Georgetown was a cool one because I played there a couple times in the Wizards Stadium or whatever. So
was there any necessarily like hostile environments where there was like I don't know, like I guess maybe minus the environment, like between you and another team, like your team versus another team, like it was just really aggressive in the game and all that.
yeah, University of Vermont it gets crazy in there, and they have like a small gym.
Mm-hmm.
So at UMBC, us and Vermont like rivals. Like every year, like it's like us two at the top of the American East Conference. So like the last like 5 years, it was either like us or them in the championship. But yeah, that there gets like pretty crazy. They got like a small gym, so it's like usually like college gyms like it's like separated from like the bench and it's like a little room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like there, it's like high school. Like the bench like literally right behind you, so it's like it get crazy in there.
So
And it's like packed every game because they like super good. So
you like kids right on, like right up behind you and everything else.
yeah, like you can hear everything they saying. Oh, that is crazy.
And then kind of the opposite question of that, what home game do you remember that sticks out where it's like kind of the best environment where like maybe it was a big win or just like you really remember one home game in your mind?
Home game. It was probably this year the game we won to go to the championship.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. It was like we had I think it was like close to 4,000 people there. It was the biggest game of the year and we won. So it was like that was pretty cool. That was the most people since I've been at UMBC that I seen in the arena. So
I guess what was that feeling like? I guess after that game.
it was just lit. Like because we last year we was like the number one team in that conference. Like we won the regular season championship. but we lost in the first round. It was an upset. We were up by like 14 at halftime. Then we came back and lost. So like we was thinking about that the whole season. Then this year to like come back, we was the number 2 seed. We beat the team that we lost to in the first round. Like we played them again in the first round this year. We beat them. Then the second game, that's the game I'm talking about. We played University of Hartford. We lost to them once. We split with them in the regular season. So it was pretty even matchup. They had a couple good players on their team. You know, it was just fun. It was like, you know, it's a championship. So yeah, no, it was a good feeling. And then we had like the crowd and all of that behind us. So it's pretty cool.
But the like locker room atmosphere after was definitely like really exciting as well.
Yeah, for sure.
How would that game? I guess how would any of those games like compared to any of the games you played back at Severn? Uncomparable.
Yeah, like I was about to say, like, yeah, it's like it's a totally different atmosphere.
Yeah.
College is like, it's like everything is like bigger. Like you playing for, not saying high school, you're not playing for nothing, but college is just like the stakes like way higher. So
definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then kind of a switch of topics. But we've heard you like to rap a little bit on the side.
Yeah.
What is that kind of like trying to balance obviously D1 basketball, school, and like a side passion like that? That's super difficult.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because I learned how to like, because I record like all my music and stuff. I recorded on my own right off my laptop, and I learned it from is Mr. Don still? He's still there?
Yeah, he's still there. He's
like I learned how to do that in like music tech and stuff. So that's crazy. Like if I never went to Severn, I probably would have never started making music. But I mean, it's pretty cool. Like it's kind of like whenever like I'm not playing basketball, not doing schoolwork, I just put a laptop out, like find a beat and just start like, you know, making my own music. But it's kind of tough because I'm kind of like, I wouldn't really consider myself as like, I'm not obviously not like a full artist, but I like make a lot of songs, and it's like a lot of them that I don't even put out because I'm kind of like, I'm still kind of like playing, so I don't know if I want to drop this or drop that. But yeah, it's kind of, honestly, it's not really hard because I like doing it, and so it's like when you like doing something, you find time for it and all of that. So yeah.
So I guess like, are you more like a solo artist, like doing most things by yourself, or is there anyone else you like working with on a consistent basis, or anyone?
Yeah, I make a lot of it by myself. Like I don't even like really go to the studio like that. I make it in my room. So a lot of it I'm alone, but I do got a lot of songs with like AJ and like Man and all of them, because all of us kind of like started together and had the class together and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I also got like other songs and stuff with a couple like artists I found on SoundCloud and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool though.
So I guess is rapping another like major passion of yours that you think you'll carry on beyond college? And I guess
it's crazy because I never would even like, even when I was in high school, I never would have thought of myself as being like an artist, but a lot of people tell me like I'm good at it and stuff. And it's crazy because like a couple music pages and like managers and stuff kind of DM me, because I had like a song or two that kind of like got like 20,000 streams or whatever on SoundCloud, so people kind of reached out. But right now I'm still just like trying to finish school, do basketball and all that. But I mean, I'm still dropping music too, so I'm about to drop a project next month. So I guess whatever happens at this point.
So wait, what songs got I get 20,000 views? Like what
it's on SoundCloud. It's called Bora Bora.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's probably close to like 22,000 now. I put that out. It was like during the pandemic. We was in the house. I just recorded in my room. I didn't even expect it to. I just kind of recorded it, put it. I didn't really know what I was doing though. Like I got much better since then. But yeah, it got like a lot of notoriety, so it's cool.
And then kind of going back to high school basketball and like AAU around that time, obviously AAU basketball and high school basketball are very different, but in kind of in both of them, who do you think the best individual player you went up against was?
Yeah, I got this question. Like, I did a podcast like a couple weeks ago. I got the same question. So I gave him 3. I told him Javon Quinterly, Alabama, point guard. I told him so you just want just high school and AAU?
Yeah,
for now, I guess.
Yeah.
So all right, so AAU, I'll say Javon Quinterly. High school, they asked me AAU, so let me think. High school, I went up against a lot of good players in high school, but probably one-on-one matchup. Probably I'll say Daryl Morcell. That was kind of like a good one. He went to Mount St. Joe. He played at Maryland. He played at Marquette this past season.
Oh yeah,
he's pretty tough. He from Baltimore. Yeah,
he's really nice.
Yeah, I probably say him was like the best one-on-one matchup in high school.
So I guess in college, who was some of the best players you played in college? Because I'm
Yeah,
sure you played against
college, bro. It's
top picks.
so many good players that like people don't even know about. But in college, the best like scoring player I played against in college is this dude named Justin Wright Foreman. He had like, bro, I was at William & Mary. He had like 48 points, like literally. He
Jeez.
played at yeah, he's nice. He played in the G League now. I think he played for I think it's the Salt Lake City G League team.
Mhm.
But yeah, he played in the G League. He's pretty good. But yeah, college, bro, you play against like a nice player literally every game. So it's crazy.
I guess any like major plays that you remember, like I guess you played UVA, like these top teams. Like I guess obviously UVA made the championship the one year you were at William & Mary. Or any like plays by these teams that you're like these like crazy good teams that are like you just remember like when playing against you?
Like plays, let me see.
I know it's a tough thing to be like, oh, someone made a good play or something like that against
Yeah,
you.
good play against you. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's been some crazy. Obviously, you see people get dunked on and stuff all the time, but yeah, I don't think it was like I can't.
crazy
It
like that?
probably was. I just can't think of it like off the top of my head. Yeah.
I guess the different route question. How do you react when one of your teammates get dunked on?
How you react?
How do you
When
go
you're in
along
the game, you just kind of like, just get the ball and we going down court. We ain't worry about it. But after the game, nah, we definitely like he got you. Like, he making fun of you in the locker room and all of that. But during the game, nah, we just keep it in. But after, yeah, we definitely get on somebody for that.
Super funny.
And then back to your high school days again. Did you ever play any other sports? And if so, like, do you see any like carryover from sport to sport?
Yeah, high school I only played basketball, but I played middle school. It might have been like the beginning of middle school. I played lacrosse and I played football like early on. So yeah, I was just playing basketball for a while. But I always tell people like lacrosse and basketball is kind of like similar. As far as like they got like the defenses and like how you have like fast breaks and like zones and just stuff like that. I kind of seen similarities when I played those two. But yeah, other than that, I played basketball for most of it.
So I guess coming out of high school, you got a ton of offers, obviously. I think like one of the ones we've heard about was like Kansas and everything else. What and like ultimately made you choose William & Mary?
Yeah, so high school, I didn't get my first offer until I was like 16. It was like junior year. Then after I got my first one, they kind of like started piling. But William & Mary was like one of the first schools that called me, and I had a real good relationship with one of the assistant coaches who he was like one of the first college coaches that called me. So you build a relationship over the years. They was recruiting me for like a year and a half. And then like former success and former players that came down there and had like a similar play style to me, had success and went on and, did good stuff in the pros, had a shot at the NBA and things like that. So that's kind of what I was looking at. And it's like a great academic school. But yeah, that's kind of how I ended up at William & Mary.
And then after obviously your first year at William & Mary, you transferred to UMBC. What was that process like? Because I know that was a couple years ago. And right now, like the word transfer portal is such like a buzzword in all of college.
Yeah.
I assume it was different because obviously the rules have changed since then. So what was that process like for you?
Yeah, so my coaches had got fired at William & Mary. So after that, it's crazy. That was the first year like the transfer portal was like active. So like, but it was way different. Like I had to like go like now it's like not. Let me see, because I'm grad transferring from UMBC now, so it's like I basically just did it over, but it's way different from like how it was. So at first the transfer portal was kind of like it was new, but it wasn't just like you still had the rules where it was like you transfer, you got to sit out and stuff like that. So it wasn't as like free and people just weren't like getting in it. But I would say the transferring process is kind of tough because it's like you're doing the whole recruiting process over again. You're trying to see like what spot is for you, and each spot is gonna like tell you good stuff, tell you stuff you want to hear. So you kind of gotta like balance it out. So it's definitely tough. But any advice that I would give to like a person is just like try to build relationships and like see where you could go. Like even if because like these days in college, it's like a lot of not only player movements but like coaches moving as well. So try to go somewhere where like you can see yourself being there, like even if like not the coaches leaving and stuff like that. But yeah, it was definitely tough. But now it's like it's crazy. Like the transfer portal is like somebody like new people getting in there every day, new people leaving. It's like college basketball right now is kind of like a crazy moment. I had coaches that was recruiting me just now for my 5th year. They was recruiting me 1 week, then the next week they go on a different school. So it's just like right now it's just like real crazy. Yeah, that's probably like advice I would give, and like that's kind of how it went the first time.
So I guess how did you come to the conclusion that UMBC was the right place for you?
Yeah, UMBC, it was like, so I'm big on relationships. Like I don't really trust like people easy and stuff. So the UMBC, they like was also one of the first schools that recruited me, and because they Coach Odom and Coach Dixon, they were 2 coaches at UMBC. Their sons went to St. Mary's. It's crazy.
Yeah,
so they
right.
Yeah. So they seen me playing since I was like 15. So they was recruiting me early too. And the first time they didn't get me, but on the second go around, they was the first school to call me. And I was like just seeing like where I was at with everything. UMBC was like right 20, 30 minutes away from home. So I'm like, as far as how everything was and the facilities up there and stuff, like it's growing. UMBC like an amazing place. So like I was like, yeah, this would be a good spot for me to continue to flourish and get my degree from here and stuff like that.
I guess how was it like meshing in with the new team? Like was it like were the players you already knew, or was it like I guess a warm welcome? Was it hard? Was it like?
Yeah, I knew a couple players. They had a player, my boy Brandon. He was from Anne Arundel County. He played at Southern, the public school, so I knew him. But I mean, it wasn't really hard. Like when you get to this level, it's kind of like everybody. You all know what you're there for. Of course, you're gonna compete and try to like get spots and stuff. But as far as like getting on the team, it's like everybody kind of respect each other unless it's like something happened or anything. But it's not really hard.
And then it wouldn't be right to interview a UMBC basketball player and not talk about the iconic game against Virginia.
Yeah.
You weren't on the team for that, right?
Nah, I was still in high school.
Yeah, we thought that, but that has to be kind of in the culture, right? Like how often is that talked about, and like what does that mean for the program?
Yeah, like obviously it's real big for the program. It gave the school like a name, like on the national stage. But like you can say before that, somebody say, where you go, UMBC, they go like, what's that? So like now it kind of gives the school like notoriety, and it brought like a good spotlight, good attention to the school. It's like that's in the culture like forever. Like even when we go to the airport, flying somewhere, that's the first question. Like, were you on the team that played against Virginia, or like how was it there, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely in the culture forever. It's like in the locker room, that's like a photo of like the tip off from that game and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely big for the school.
Is that like a point of I guess motivation or something that like you guys hear about before big games and stuff like that? I guess.
Oh yeah. For every season, like we always talk about it. Like we gotta put that in the past, but not in a bad way. But like we gotta do something more than that. So we gotta be the next team to get to the tournament. That's like a motivating factor, like every season.
All right. Well, I have one last question.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you see players all around, like it's college right now with the whole NIL deals and things like that. I guess how do you feel about that? How do you feel about NIL deals? How do you feel about how they're affecting the game? And obviously, they affect the transfer portals as well. Like players transferring to different places for better deals and everything else. How do you like feel about that in college basketball? How it affects, I guess, all college sports, and I guess how has it affected you?
So how does it affect college basketball as a whole? I mean, I'm all for players, kind of getting conversation for their names and stuff like that. I feel like that's only right. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's levels to it, and definitely like the higher up schools benefit more, just because obviously they play on TV more. They bring in like millions of dollars, so the players on that team is gonna have more spotlight as far as like a player on like a lower major or mid-major team like that. And so I don't know if y'all seen, but like the last couple of weeks it's been like schools, players committing to schools, and they've been like putting out their NIL information. It's been like all over Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
So people are talking about how the NIL is kind of like just playing for hire or playing for money or whatever. And it's not actually like name and likeness. So yeah, I'm not really familiar with it on like that stage, but that's kind of like my own personal opinion on it. And personally, I didn't really benefit from it yet. I know I probably could, but I didn't actually do it yet. Maybe next season, I could try to find, some stuff for myself to get into, but yeah.
Well, that's all we have for you, LJ. Thank you so much for your time. This has just been awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, for sure. Thank y'all for having me anytime.
We really appreciate it, and obviously your story and everything else you told us today, we're really grateful for hearing it.